I'm in chapter 2C. Chapter 2C. Chapter 2C. This is my senior colleague, which is Dion Teeling, very impactful, a senior instructor, is a cybersecurity instructor and I program coordinator. It has been a lovely friend from US. Now today we are talking about wiring implementation structure cabling system. Wiring implementation structure cabling system. So in most of these times, there are ways you arrange things when we are talking about the method of what implementing a network. Now, what are those things we need? The work area, the cabling, and then telecommunication rooms, that is the location, the backbone cabling, entrances, facilities, and so many other things that we need for us to execute the project. So if you want to implement all these things, all what I've just mentioned is very important. So you have to go to the ceiling, check some of those things, check the environment. So all these things in summary, you have to do your visibility study. And this visibility study will not help you, will not guide you for the kind of equipment you are going to implement. So that is just the summary of what is in this slide. Moving to the next slide now. So this is the structure cabling diagram. You can see from here now, I'm seeing two-story building. The first story building is being networked and the second story building is also being networked. The first one at the upper room is known as what? Telecommunication. And it has one switch. And one of them is serving the communication, which is the other side, which involve 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 clients. So the other one, which is the horizontal cabling, is also, working area. You can see the working area, the structure, everything is there. That one is also having another 6 system behind. Now we have the backbone. The backbone is the cable that used to connect from the downstairs to the upstairs. So that is the backbone. So if anything happen to the backbone, two things is going to happen. Is either there will be loss of communication between the upper one and the lower one. So that is what is going to happen. That is what is going to happen because this is the backbone. For example, a backbone is like your spinal cord. When you break your spinal cord, definitely the connection between the upper layer of your body and the lower layer is not going to work appropriately. So that is how it works. So this is example of what the structuring cable. So the down floor also have its own connecting to a single switch, and that single switch take it out of the building and take it to the external um computer system that can link you to have access to the internet. So this is actually the structure of this cabling system. So with this you can implement any project based on cabling diagram. Moving further, I've actually explained the RJ45 and the RJ11, but we are going to talk specifically about the RJ45. Now this RJ45 have a standard. Now what do we call the standard? We call it termination standard, and the termination standard have two classified into two. We have T568A and T568B. We call it cable configuration most times. Now this is the standard that is being met for every network engineers and network administrator for you to configure your cable. And what differentiates both of them is the color code. Each of these pairs of wire has their own different color code. The first one starts with green white, which is T568A, green, white, orange, blue, blue, white, orange, brown, white, and brown. So this one is for the first standard, which is T568A. T568B, vice versa, white, orange, orange, green, white, blue, white. Then we have green, brown, white, and brown. So this one is classified under T568B termination. That is the only two we have in this in the setting of networking. Moving on, we have the patch panel. So the patch panel is just the opposite of what? Of the cabling systems. So there's a kind of patch panel, you connect your system to it. You use what is known as a punch tool to insert those pictures into the different color. At the end of the day, you fix the normal RJ45 at the back of what? At the back of the, I mean, in front of the patch panel. So it at the back, we have clipped it the way it's supposed to be. So we are not using RJ45 at the back again. Rather, we are only using it to connect to other links. So this one is known as what? Patch panel. Moving else, we have the termination tools. Number one, we have the punch down tools, we have the clipping tool, we have the cable cutter, and we have many things. We have the nose pliers and all that. So these are some of the tools we make use in what? In termination tools, in order to clip the RJ45 together with the wire. So these are the tools that is very important. Without these tools, you can't do anything reasonable. From here now, we have what? Specification and limitation parts. So these are some of the instruments we use for specification and limitation parts. What are those ones? You understand the specification, the speed and the throughput factors. So these major things is what you need to understand when you want to specify and you know the limits of what? Of your network, so that you won't go beyond your boundary. So we have cable issue troubleshooting. So how do you troubleshoot your cable issues? From here now, you see different type of cable. So in the first place, you try to do the practical, and after practically grouping the tools together, you verify the patch panel and then what? One of their mode and the configuration. After that, you do what is known as investigation, or to try to see what is in between the patch panel and the cable. Then you do the testing, maybe the cable is correct. Then at this point, you make use of it. At this point, you got, after many of you still check it again, maybe it's well hooked on or not. Then verifying it before you hand over it to the necessary portals. We have cable tester. So cable tester is one of those tools you can use what? To diagnose maybe the cable is well properly configured or not. So that is the function of cable tester. You can see the diagram below. So that is the work you put at the both edge. You fix the first one, the first edge into one port, you fix the second one at the second port, then you do the connection and you get your results. So this is the summary of everything. So today we've been able to talk about understanding the cable needs, proper cable preparations, application which is specify the usage, and cable testing. So far so good. We've been able to what? To disseminate this information. And finally, I've told you before, this is our partner. We work together to help our young generation to have the clear orientation of IT. Thank you so much for being